All right, so as it relates to micronutrients, how do they work on polymer products? How's your technology work on polymer products?
We sparge or impregnate our micronutrients, our phosphorus product on PCUs, coated NPKs. I mean, you name it. We're putting it on. I mean, we're putting it on 200 plus different materials. It works the same way. That's the beauty of what we're delivering. We're not just delivering a product that, hey, spray this onto your granular blend and it's going to make your granular blend better. It does that, right? We talked about that. It does make the granular blend better and helps other nutrients get into the plant. But the benefit of it is we're actually spraying micronutrients onto coated materials. We're spraying phosphorus product onto the coated materials, biostimulants, whatever it may be that the customer wants. We're able to spray those on that outer shell, the polymer coating. It adheres to it very well, dries in seconds or less than seconds. I mean, it's quick how quickly it is. And as soon as you get that first irrigation event or the morning dew, whatever it may be, your nutrients leak right off of that polymer coating right into the soil and the plant starts taking them up. We're not having to wait for the substrate to solubilize and then is there a little bit of technology left to help that nitrogen or whatever get into the plant. No, we're delivering nutrients. That polymer is just another carrier. It can be filler, it can be a polymer coating, it can be whatever it needs to be. If it's a prill in that granular blend, we're coating it and now that prill becomes a carrier. Now what's fun about it is we're even seeing it with 100% NPK blends, coated NPK blends, homogeneous blends for say nursery, where we can spray our phosphorus product on a 19612 product. And when you put that into the pot or you incorporate it into the soil, now we're delivering our phosphorus technology that helps with early rooting, early establishment, and we're seeing a benefit in the pot even from spraying a liquid onto a 100% polymer coated product and getting the results that we're talking about in our trials and in the fields with all of our ag farmers to our turf farmers.
And you know, there's a lot of choices out there in all of these
Absolutely.
people that come knock at your door all the time. There are a lot of choices, and I'm not saying they're good or bad, but do they all work on polymers?
My understanding is they don't, because other products, if they're not a nutrient carrier, then who's to say that it just remains there in the top soil for that substrate to solubilize and then that coating grabs the nutrients and then it loads it and then it takes it up into the plant. You potentially miss that opportunity. So if you have a heavily control release mix, well then say it's a 50% control release blend. Well, you are coating all 100% of the blend and now 50% of it's coated, so you're not getting that nutrient uptake, right? So my understanding of others, right, there's not enough time for that substrate to solubilize and then the technology grab what leaks out of the prill and then takes it into the plant.
Okay.
We need carriers. That's all we need. We get to make other nutrients better, but really we're delivering nutrients and we're helping the other products get into the plant. It's a good match, really, the way that it works. We're not just doing one thing. Customers can, but why not, for little to no cost, add some nutrients and enhance your fertilizer?
Well, it makes sense to me. We really can talk about all this amazing stuff all day long.
Customers have to try it, right? We come in and we can tell you how wonderful we are, how great we are. Doesn't really matter. You have to try it for yourself. We'll get you a sample, try it for yourself, spray it onto your granular blend, put it out foliarly, put it out however you want to put it out. It doesn't matter what we say at the end of the day. Customers have to try it.
Right. I mean, you're going to have to see it. Fortunately, maybe we're just lucky, but at the end of the day, we haven't had a customer yet that said, I didn't see anything.
That's right. Pretty high success rate right now. I would agree.
Right. It's either a really good product or we're extremely lucky. Yeah. It's one of the two things. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't always feel lucky, so I'm going to go. We got decent products. No, it works out well.
Good.
Yeah. No, it's great. So Pete, we haven't covered one thing yet, and that is just a quick explanation of our phosphorus technology. It's obviously something that's different. We're using very low use rates. The way that we treat and process our phosphorus products different than most, I would say. So how would you describe our process and our technology when it comes to the 085?
Well, first of all, phosphorus is, still one of the mysterious nutrients, right? I hear a lot of stuff about phosphorus. There's all kinds of things going on. There's all kinds of opinions on phosphorus. What everyone would agree on is that phosphorus is one of the hardest ones to deal with because it ties up so easily, especially with calcium, forming calcium phosphates, which are no longer plant usable. Something has to happen. The soil has to weather. There has to be lots of microbial activity in order for those things to be available. Yes, we process our phosphorus way differently than anyone else processes their phosphorus. We're talking about the P ion or the phosphorus ion, right? I mean, it doesn't matter where the ion came from. So if it came from false acid, or it came, some of your phosphorus came from MKP, or wherever you're getting your phosphorus. We're talking about, I'm just worried about the phosphorus molecule at this point, or the phosphorus ion at this point. Very reactive, it is, calcium's divalent, phosphorus is divalent. I mean, there's all kinds of charges that want to come together and form something different. Our technology is focused around preventing that tie-up, right? Not allowing it to interact with other nutrients in the soil, other nutrients in your mix tank. I mean, because phosphorus can come, the reaction's immediate, right? You have things that are positive, things are negative. Put magnets together. It's an immediate attraction. It happens right then, right there. So it could be happening in your mix tank. We know that it happens in the soil. Happens all the time in the soil. We need to protect that phosphorus. So here again, as with all of our technologies, whether it be the ones for micronutrients, the ones for calcium, or the ones for phosphorus, they're all made from material that is utilized by the plant. So we're not putting any foreign objects into a plant. They're all plant utilized. So if you look at our phosphorus, our manufacturing for the phosphorus product, you got to think of it kind of like a DNA strand, or let's just take a piece of rope. If you take a piece of rope, put 2 drills on each side of the rope, attach the rope to the drills, and then spin them. It'll spin that rope around and around and around and around, and 30 feet of rope becomes a big tangled knot of a foot. Our technology does the same thing. So we take a carbon strip and we load that phosphorus onto the carbon strip, and then it's twisted, right? So it's all protected. It has a net neutral charge after we're done with it in our manufacturing process. So it doesn't want to bind to anything, anytime, anywhere. Now, can I hold that bond forever? No, can't hold it forever, right? But I can hold it long enough to bring in this year's crop. I can certainly hold it that long, right? And you still need to do your standard farming practices, right? You still need to replenish phosphorus in the soil. You still need to do all these things, because think about it, that corn plant is not only going to take up what we put down in our specialized nutrients, going to take it up right away, but it will still take up phosphorus from the soil when it becomes available. It'll still take it out. So you still got to do your standard farming practices, right? I mean, you got to put back what you take.
How about a customer that brings in, say, a corn crop with 10 gallons or 5 gallons of a starter? What would be the comparative rate if we would use our 085?
Okay, so that's a hard question because people get used to a number, and let's just say that your number was 25 gallons of I don't know, let's say a poly starter. So if you were used to 25 gallons of a poly starter, and I came in and told you that you could put in 2 quarts of our phosphorus technology, and that'll bring in your corn crop,
Scare them to death.
you scare them to death. So I like to really go in and say, hey, you know what? Half. If you're putting out 25 gallons of poly normally, go to 12 gallons, go to 13 gallons, go to 15 gallons, whatever you're comfortable with, and go with 1 quart of our technology. How many times have we done that?
Over and over again.
In
10 gallons to 5 gallons. We have done 5 gallons to just 1 quart or 2 quarts. So we've done it, but you're right. We don't want the sticker shock. It's part of a program. Everything that we do is part of a program.
Absolutely.
We're not telling you to not ever put down any granular DAP or MAP or anything of that nature.
Of course not.
Or to not use any poly whatsoever. It's just, here's a very efficient way, a better way of handling phosphorus. Cut it in half, use a quart. If you're willing to if you're comfortable doing it a little bit differently, and you're a 10-gallon poly starter, you can use 2 quarts. But we know that that's not in the comfort zone.
Right.
So let's go 5 gallons.
So yeah, I mean, I am comfortable all day long saying half your rate.
And use a quart to 2 quarts of our 085.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'd say half your rate. And it normally saves you quite a, 15 gallons, let's just say that you were at 30, 15 gallons of...
you are money to the good. We don't even have to do the math.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, your money way to the good, and you're not going to hurt a bit. Yeah. In fact, we have never been less than equal then. Yeah. I mean, on a
performance-wise,
a bad day for us when we take a crop to harvest, a bad day for us would be equal to. That's our bad day. So if our bad day is equal to, and you can save $10 an acre, well, I'd take it all day long.
Yeah, it's a win.
It's a win. A lot of the times we're better than, but like I say, worst case scenario is really equal to. About the same.
We deal with a lot of good farmers.
Absolutely.
These guys are good at what they do. So if you already have a high yielding crop, we may not, we can be a little bit more efficient. We can do other things. There's not a guarantee that you're going to get 10% more yield. But can we save you a few dollars? Can we help you do more passes with the same amount of product, right? So there are efficiencies in different areas when we talk about the things that we do. It's not just, here's the direction, this is where we're going to save you, this is what it is that we do. Again, it's multifaceted, really, if you really evaluate the whole farming system of what we do and how we can come in and have an impact in different areas.
Yeah, true. Plus, phosphorus especially falls into the BMP, or best management practice problems that the world wants to blame everything on phosphorus, right? And nitrogen, but we're talking about phosphorus now.
Especially when you're around waterways. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, right? So this allows you to easily fit within any legislation or best management practices that may or may not be required in the area that you farm, etc., to where, listen, think about this. What's the analysis of our phosphorus product?
It's a 0.85 in liquid form.
It's a 0.85. So I'm telling you to put out a 0.85 at 2 quarts, what is the analysis of that fertilizer blend in 100 gallons of water?
Not registrable, really.
It's 0 phosphorus. I mean, because you can't claim under, under a full number. And it's going to be way under a full number.
Hundreds or thousands, yes.
Right. So it's hard to comprehend, but that 0 analysis phosphorus gives you enough phosphorus to do what you need to do on your crop this year.
Absolutely agree with you. I was the guy, 8 years ago, I was the guy. I mean, we were talking about this, and it was us working in a greenhouse trying to do it. And we had to take the 0.85, dilute it into an amount of water so that we could get a low enough rate to test it on corn plants. I mean, it was a 2-3 step process just so we could get the right amount in an actual pipette to drop it onto each individual seed for corn planting. And then I remember it even today, it's like maybe 20, 30 days later when we, say, harvested the corn to get the dry weights and measure everything and all, and the root mass that we put, and it's like, and I remember telling you, like, I did the pipette, right? I did the mixing, I put it in the water, I did the math, everything, and dropped it on that seed, and now here we are 30 or so days later. It's like, I remember having to break the roots that grew out of our 3-gallon pot.
That's right. I remember that.
To go take it out and harvest it. And it's like, what is this? How did this happen? Where we had 1034O, we had other forms of phosphorus, and then they grew a good plant. They had healthy roots.
Sure.
But this thing, I mean, these roots and the size of the corn and just for what we were doing, I was like, I remember asking, like, how did we do this? And we did it because of everything you just explained.
Yep. It is phosphorus is probably the least efficient on its own, right? Because we know phosphorus doesn't volatilize. It certainly doesn't leach. The only way to get phosphorus to move is to either have a real big rain event where it washes, it washes the first 2 inches of your soil off into the river. That's how it gets into the river. It's not making it to the river because it doesn't leach, right? I mean, nitrogen does. It volatilizes, it leaches. We understand why nitrogen, has its problems. Phosphorus doesn't have any of those problems. I mean, phosphorus doesn't really leach. I mean, it doesn't really volatilize, right? So you put a bunch of phosphorus out, well, why don't you have a response? Because it's so inefficient, right? Because it's tied up with everything else in the soil, and now we have to wait for something to happen for a little bit of that phosphorus to become available. And we know there's numbers all over the place. Some say it's 80% inefficient, some say it's 90% inefficient. Everyone has an opinion there. However, we know that the majority isn't doing what it needs to do today. It'll do it one day. I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, it'll do it one day, but not today.
Our 085 product is one that if someone asks us, okay, I want to try one of your products, what is it? Without a doubt, our response every time is try 085. You're going to be happy with it, and you'll be calling us back later. And it's been true, and it's helped us grow our business. It's a wonderful product.